Hi everybody, it's Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic and the creator of Brain First Body Freedom. I want to go over an article today, so I'm going to call it Reading Between the Lines because I'm going to add my little commentary. But this is an article I've been hanging on to for months. This was published in May and shared in the public, and it's making me kind of not reverse course, but re-look at everything, almost everything that I've been taught in college and that you've been taught in college, or through what you've been taught through the media and the science shows and these medical shows and everything. It's blown my mind, but I shouldn't be surprised, and neither should you. So the title is, and this is a summary of the published study, and so this is an essay based on a study, so I could go back to the original study, and I may do that, but this really puts it into a nice way to begin my study. But the title is, In Radical Claim, Study Suggests Inflammation Wards Off Chronic Pain Instead of Causing It. And that's interesting. It doesn't cause pain. It's helping you with pain. Now remember, pain is a pattern. It's a purposeful pattern, and you've got to allow the process to complete its course. And that's a little bit different than what you typically understand through mainstream and the science and blah, blah, blah. But remember, pain serves a purpose, and I teach that in the Brain First protocol. And sometimes you have to put on the brakes and say, okay, let me work through this, because we automatically want to eradicate pain immediately at all costs, and that's not what we do as chiropractors, and I'm sure not in every health field as well. But everybody says you've got to fight inflammation, fight it, and they also say inflammation is the cause of disease. Is it? But then again, what is disease? Because there really is no disease if you look at everything and how we've created the terminology, and there is a trance of terminology, and that's my next blog posting. But if you look at the terminology and look at all the things in common that we call disease, it's just the body reaching a point of exhaustion. So rather than trying to separate every disease into its category, which drives you crazy, I had to study to pass all these exams, and then I realized decades later, this didn't help me, it didn't help you. It just made the colleges richer and perpetuated the idea that you don't have control over your body, because disease is inevitable. Disease is a terrible thing, and if it happens to you, you were just unlucky. Am I hitting all the points right? Let's go to the article. Remember, I'm going to read and give you my interjection here. For 2 decades, Luda Dyachenko investigated the underlying biology of pain like a detective chasing clue after clue. What role does this gene play? Now, let me stop there. Genes, I don't think we know what genes do. They're there. We've looked at them. We think we've studied them and predicted what they do, but we have gotten nowhere in our study of genes. So put that in the back burner of your mind. How about that protein? She always wondered, though, what she would find if she could look at how every gene inside a cell behaves as pain evolves in the body. It would be like Sherlock Holmes trading his magnifying glass for video of the crime as it was being committed. So here we're calling pain something criminal. Pain, that negative connotation. We always look at pain in a negative manner, and that hasn't served us. All right, let me get back to the article. But when such technology finally became cheaply available in 2018, thanks to advances in RNA sequencing, the footage shocked her. So RNA is just a bunch of protein. That's all it is. We still don't know what it all means, do we? We look at it and we make guesses. And we are still guessing. This was very, very unexpected, said Dyachenko, a professor in McGill University's Division of Experimental Medicine. The results, reported Wednesday in Science Translational Medicine, repudiated much of what she and other pain researchers believed. There's that word, believed. Everything so far is a belief. Everything. That's why we have a hypothesis. And we are still living with hypotheses that are not proven. Atherosclerosis, that's one. There's more, but I got to get back to the article. Other pain researchers, what she and other pain researchers believed about how an initial bout of acute pain can develop into a chronic and debilitating condition. Now, I don't dispute that. People have acute issues, I'm going to use the word issue, acute, that turn chronic after a certain amount of time. Why? Let's not make a definitive explanation, because we always end up reversing our thinking. If you really, an observation is just that, an observation, and I think we've gone off the deep end, relying on observation a little bit too much. So here we go. A large body of research suggests that chronic inflammation is a key driver of chronic pain. Okay, chronic inflammation equals chronic pain. We've believed that and followed that and said, oh, it just makes sense. So many pain specialists focused on hosing down inflammation from its earliest sign of injury, extinguishing the immunological fire before it got out of control. So we're now looking at it as a fire that just wants to engulf you and become a disaster. That's what we're looking at. Dyachenko's results, however, suggest that initial inflammation is necessary for the body to recover. And you know what? We've known that, because we say a little inflammation is good, but a lot of inflammation is bad. So when is it good and when is it bad? That has been in the back of my head festering. Okay, we got good inflammation, we have bad inflammation. Why are we calling it that? So here we go. If true, it could mean decades old protocols for treating pain with IV steroids in the hospital or aspirin and ibuprofen at home were actually counterproductive, increasing patients' risk of developing chronic pain. Now, how in the world did we get to this? If you take a pain medication, it makes your pain worse? Whoa. Now sit back and let that get absorbed in your brain. Oh, you take a medication and you get worse? Aha. Stay tuned for part 2, because the suspense right here is just so good. And click like on the video, click subscribe. I'm going to get back to this article. But thanks for watching this far along. It's coming. Hold on.